Today, scientists gather knowledge through observation and experimentation on material objects around them. Although this may eventually result in a favorable outcome, their experimentation will have detrimental effects on the material objects used in the process, whether that is a life or another resource. But this is not how our ancestors gained knowledge in the past. Rishis in the past came to understanding of the life around them through deep states of meditation. Their extreme discipline in meditation led them to an elevated mental state called Samadhi Avastha, where their consciousness is in union with the energy of the universe. In this particular mental state, any question one may have about anything will be answered through revelations, and the answers will come to you as a knowing. This is why they say all that you seek is within you. This way, all the information the rishis gained through the Samadhi Avastha was initially only passed on and discussed orally, called Sruti, to those keen on learning. Sruti translates to that which has been heard. This information is eternal and not subject to change with time as far as humans are considered. Thus, for many years, there were no documentation or accessibility to everyone since it had to be pursued from a guru through oral transmission. Oral transmission of knowledge with poor documentation also meant a vast amount of knowledge was lost and not available for the future generations. Thus, although Bharatam was extremely rich in intellectual and spiritual knowledge due to the work of Rishishwars, the available information was not particularly easy to understand due to its vastness, lack of documentation, classification, and improper distribution. This situation improved when a rishi named Krishna Dvaipayana classified, improved, and distributed the vast ocean of Veda, which is known as knowledge, that was previously available into four main streams. These are called Rigvedam, Yajurvedam, Samavedam, and Atharvavedam for easier understanding. In Sanskrit, such a process of classification is called Vyasichati. Hence, this rishi was hence called Veda Vyasa, or the one who classified Vedas. Shri Veda Vyasa Muni taught each of the four streams of knowledge to four of his disciples, namely Pailan, Vaishampayanan, Jaimini, and Sumandu, who further developed it with their own additions. This way, he distributed the four streams of knowledge unto the generations to come. Each of these streams of Vedams are further divided into Karma Kandam, Upasana Kandam, and Jnana Kandam. Karma Kandam is the knowledge necessary for us to survive and develop in the material world. Upasana Kandam is the knowledge necessary for us to redirect our minds to worship God through rituals and ceremonies which can result in favorable outcomes in our specific area of study. It basically contains rituals and methodologies for pujas, mantras, hymns for worship, etc. The rishis knew that Karma Kandam and Upasana Kandam will help humans flourish in their own chosen stream of study. However, it was more important for humans to know Atma Vidya, or knowledge of self, in order to escape from the cycle of life and death. Hence, Jnana Kandam was added to each of the four streams of Vedam. Jnana Kandam is considered the Andam, or the very end of Vedam. In other words, if you know this, there is nothing more to be learned. Thus, Jnanakantam is also called Vedantam, or Atmavidya, or Upanishad. Each of these four streams had multiple substreams of knowledge, most of which is lost today. Though we have lost a lot of information, it is interesting to note that the very essence of this Upanishad is condensed in Bhagavad Gita as words that directly came from Krishna to Arjuna. Further, you would appreciate that the present day fields of Ayurvedam, which is medicine, Dhanurvedam, which is Ayojana Vidya or martial arts and warfare, Gandharva Vedam, such as music, dance, theatre, and other arts, and Arthashastram, which is business and administration, has got its roots deriving from Rigvedam, Yajurvedam, Samavedam, and Atharva Vedam, respectively. Hence, these are called the Upavedams. The one who study Vedam is also expected to have knowledge of the six Vedankam, or the limbs of Vedam. These are considered as limbs since they help the learner grasp the true meaning and essence of Vedam. The first Vedangam is Shiksha. If you notice, the Veda mantras or hymns are said in a specific manner or style for appropriate result. The Shastra that teaches this is called Shiksha. The second one is Kalpam. The one who studies Vedam should also have a lifestyle that is conducive to the knowledge he is receiving in order for it to benefit him. The lifestyle and discipline to be adopted is taught in Kalpam. Third one is Niruptam. This is like a dictionary to understand the Vedam. There are specific words, for example, Jalajam, which means the one that is born out of water. Hence, a usual understanding of Jalajam is a lotus, but it can also be a water lily. Therefore, Niruptam helps a learner understand the meaning based on the context. Next is Chandasu. It talks about the rhythmic structure of a hymn. As mantras are usually written as verses, the usage of chandas generates rhythm to the literature when the rules are properly followed. It teaches the learner where to pause while reading and how to read the mantras properly. Next is Vyakaranam. The learner must be able to read the mantras and interpret it appropriately. Vyakarana Shastram helps one in interpreting the true meaning of a hymn. Lastly, we have Jyotisham. Although today Jyotisham, that is astrology, is used to predict one's future, traditionally this knowledge was especially useful for someone following the Upasana Kandam. The learner should know Jyotisham to determine the appropriate time and place of rituals for worship. Having said that, we have got multiple other works documented by our Rishi Ishwars which can be used for our benefit. We have got 18 Mahapuranas and 18 Upapuranas. We have got two Itihasas. Itihasa translates to this has happened, or in other words, it's history containing events that happened in the past. Out of the two Itihasa, Ramayana was penned down by a rishi called Valmiki, who was in his past a Rakshasa who harmed and looted others. Thus, know that Sanatana Dharma is not for the saints, it is for everyone and anyone who wants to transform his life into that of a saint. Sanatana Dharma is the science that can transform a common man, even a sinner, into the Paramatma himself. Moving on, we also have 18 Smritis, also called Dharma Shastras or books relating to code of conduct. Smriti translates to a memoir. So, a smriti can be seen as a collection of the author's smriti or memory on a certain subject or field. Smritis are generally attributed to a named author and were transmitted through manuscripts, in contrast to Vedas, which was based on a fixed text with no specific author and it is preserved through oral transmission. Smritis are derivative, it changes with time, it is secondary and considered less authoritative than Vedas. We also have 18 Siddhantas on astrology and cosmology. Originally, there were 18 Siddhantas, each providing different perspective on cosmic calculations. Among the surviving texts, the Surya Siddhanta is one of the oldest and the most prevailing. Other notable Siddhantas focusing on cosmic, astronomical, and mathematical principles are shown here. This truly shows how advanced our ancestors were. They had such profound intellect to figure out cosmic calculations, astronomic positions, and nature of planets. Next, we have Darshana. Sanatana Dharma identifies that attaining moksha is the Parama Dharma, ultimate, that is the ultimate duty or goal of humans. But they also accept that the ways to attaining moksha is many and not a fixed path. Darshana provides 6 different perspectives to attaining moksha of soul. This explains why we see different kinds of gurus, swamis, agoris, jnanis, etc. in Bharatam. The path to moksha may be many and it is beyond our understanding. However, the destination or the target is the same, that is the Paramatma. Next, we also have got agamas, which are tantric or ritualistic knowledge that has been passed down for those interested in practicing. These are mainly 77 Shakti Agamas, 28 Shiva Agamas, and 108 Vishnu Agamas. And there are many, many more Shastras and a plethora of other works by Maharishis, Acharyas, and Gurus, etc., which is beyond the scope of our discussion due to how vast it truly is. Now that we understand how truly abundant in knowledge our land is, the question is, are we supposed to learn it all? Of course, one cannot learn all of this in one lifetime. And the goal should never be to simply learn, but to understand and use the knowledge in our day to day life. To progress spiritually, one must understand that everything he sees, including his body, is asat or perishable. But his mind is sat, that is eternal and indestructible. For it has come from the Paramatma itself. Humans should use the Vedas to guide their mind to the Paramatma to attain moksha. While there are many ways to do it, the easiest of it all is to understand the Bhagavata Purana Tattvam and to apply it in your life. In fact, Vedas are considered to be the celestial tree, and Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be the fruit of this tree. This truly shows that Srimad Bhagavatam is the shortcut to Paramatma. You get to enjoy the taste of Vedas without all the hard work. You may also note that Srimad Bhagavatam can be seen as an extension of Bhagavad Gita. Both the books say the same principles but differently. Srimad Bhagavatam contains stories, both fictional and real, to derive at the Veda Tattvam, making it more interesting. Whereas Bhagavad Gita is the condensed form of Veda Tattvam that is portrayed as a conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Finally, before I end this video, I would like to point out something interesting. Now, if you may have noticed, the number 18 has quite a significance in Sanatana Dharma. There are 18 chapters of Parvam in Mahabharata. We have got 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. The Mahabharata Yuddham lasted for 18 days. And in the Kurukshetra war, the battle formation is called Akshauhini. And there was a total of 18 such Akshauhinis in the war. It doesn't end there. Each of the Akshauhini consisted of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 65,610 horses, 109,350 infantry. All of this adds up to the sum of 18. Further, Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 shlokas. Our human body is sustained by 18 factors. The 18 factors are the 5 jnana indriyams, the 5 karma indriyams, the 5 panjabhutams, 1 manas, 1 buddhi, and 1 chittam, all totaling to 18. The significance of 18 can be seen to root from Katapayadi Sankhya system, where the number 18 translates to Jaya or victory.